I'm often asked why I chose to study psychology and what led me to the mental health field. Well, the answer is simple yet complex, because the reason is my mother. As a teenager, I witnessed my mother spiral from the highest peak in her life to the lowest. At the time, I was not familiar with bipolar, depression, or PTSD, and why it was affecting my mom's ability to function. So I chose to study psychology to learn the version of my mother that I was afraid to know. My mom became my first case study. And throughout my study, I was introduced to severe psychological and emotional pain that still affects me today, because my mother's trauma is stored in my mental luggage. So why not study psychology? Once I entered the mental health field, my perception of mental illness changed. For over 8 years, I was a master's level clinician, serving clients with various psychological disorders such as schizophrenia and schizoaffective. After reaching burnout, because I did reach burnout, I realized I did not want to become a psychologist anymore. I was done. Because at that point, I was carrying the weight and bearing the load of my clients. See, I was a community-based counselor, meaning I served families in their home environments. I witnessed poverty at a level that I've only really seen on television. Some families were living in horrible conditions. Children were hungry and were sleeping on the floor without running water, electricity. So I would sit in my car after sessions and just cry. Right before I headed to my next session to see another client living in similar conditions. It was too much for me. As a counselor, what do you do when you have a conscience? So I went to the store to buy food for their families to eat, and even an air mattress so their children did not have to sleep on the cold floor at night. As a result, my clients' struggles and hardships were stored in my mental luggage. The mental health field was taking a toll on me, and I knew this. So I decided to work towards becoming a psychology professor. I enrolled in the Chicago School of Professional Psychology in a doctorate program called Educational Psychology and Technology. Great program, by the way. While completing my dissertation, I experienced a car accident. I was hit twice by a freight tank on a busy interstate. After spinning several times across oncoming traffic with cars driving over 60 miles per hour, I didn't know if I was dead or alive. I suffered a concussion, nerve damage, and I was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease. The physician said that a simple fall could paralyze me. That's scary, right? Yes. So let's just put that in my mental luggage. Let's put that there. While attending school and undergoing treatment, there's a pandemic. Boom, COVID-19. I'm literally on chapter 4 of my dissertation. Like, I want to get this over with. I'm so tired. I'm so mentally exhausted. I got a lot going on. Such a challenging time to be in school and conducting research. But somehow in 2021, I managed to graduate with honors with a 4.0. Finally, a breakthrough. There's something good I can put in my mental luggage. I need this right now. But then my father was diagnosed with cancer. I'm his only child. So the amount of pressure to support my father during this time was tremendous. Not to mention, my grandmother's health was declining, eventually leading to death a year later. Oh, and my mom, she's spiraling again. All of that is in my mental luggage. So here I am, a psychology instructor and disability service coordinator. Okay, I like it, I like it. But wait a minute, I'm teaching and serving students with mild to severe psychological, emotional, and physical disabilities. Every day, there's a student that comes into my office to share their most traumatic stories, from being homeless to attempting suicide. Because of those stories, I was greatly concerned about my students' mental health and well-being. So I decided to become a board-certified student mental health specialist. Here I go again. Now my student stories are stored in my mental luggage. I see them every day. They worry me. So who's watching me have a mental breakdown after mental breakdown and experiencing some of this trauma with me? My spouse. The troubling thoughts in my mind and the pain in my heart greatly influence my spouse, which re-triggered their own past trauma, causing anxiety and depression to resurface. Now there's guilt in my mental luggage. That's a lot. It's a lot. For 4 years, I struggled as a professional student, educator, a daughter, a sister, and a friend. I experienced so much adversity from people around me, from sexual assault, substance abuse, sickness, to death. The road I traveled was often dark and unpredictable, with no street lights, no stop signs, no caution lights, not even a yield sign to slow down. The road of uncertainties and despair was constant and never ending. On this journey, I hauled a traveling suitcase, compact with sorrows, worries, troubles, and stressors of many people who had stored their personal belongings in my mental luggage. My mental luggage was filled to capacity. The zipper was broken, it barely zipped. But somehow someone always came along and squeezed a sock or two in between the seams of a damaged bag. Because of that load, I now suffer from depression and anxiety. Therefore, I could no longer bear the weight of other people. I had to unpack my mental luggage to avoid self-destruction. And as I unpacked each article of clothing one by one, I was able to see the bottom of the bag. And there was something that existed within me that I didn't know was even there. Resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, adapt, and recover from adversities, challenges, or significant life stressors. I was able to find a way to keep going in the midst of lifing through the power of resilience. How did I build resilience? How did it even get there? So this is what I've learned. Building and maintaining resilience is achieved by 1, developing resilient thinking patterns, challenging negative thoughts, reframing setbacks as opportunities for growth, and maintaining a sense of hope and optimism. 2, you must have strong problem-solving skills to identify problems, evaluate options, and take effective action to address them. 3, learn how to adapt to change and unexpected circumstances by being open-minded, resourceful, and willing to adjust your plans and your perspectives. 4, in building resilience, you have to manage your emotions effectively, stay calm under pressure, and bounce back from setbacks without being overwhelmed by those negative feelings. 5, it's important to believe in your ability to overcome challenges in the first place and achieve goals through effort and learning from experience. 6, my favorite, prioritize self-care. Take time out for you. Take a walk, read a book, get some rest, find your place of peace, and engage in hobbies that will promote healthy mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Your place of peace, that's good. Find that. 7, practice mindfulness to stay present, reduce stress, cultivate a sense of calmness, be cool. And 8, build strong relationships with your families, your friends, and community members who can provide emotional support, encouragement, and assistance during those tough times. Because whatever you're going through, you don't have to do it by yourself. You need to know that, and you need to feel that. Okay? So resilient thinking, strong problem-solving skills, flexibility, self-regulation, self-efficacy, self-care, it's a lot of self, mindfulness, and strong relationships all play a vital role in building resilience. Because of that, and because of the situations and circumstances I've experienced, the most valuable lesson I've learned is the need for acceptance. I had to accept where I was in life in order to change, to grow, and to be resilient. Let's be clear. Some items will resurface in my bag again, like anger, sadness, and grief. And that's why I always pack a resilience t-shirt so I can wear clothing that will represent my strength and my courage. And just in case someone tries to throw their personal belongings back into my bag, I'll pack an extra resilience t-shirt to block and protect myself from someone else's baggage. The next time you're packing luggage for your upcoming trip in life, do not repack the same dirty laundry from the last destination. Instead, pack what's needed so you can carry a load that's manageable for you and only you. So are you ready to hit the road? Who's driving? Yeah. I hope you are. Take control of your life while being in the driver's seat. And as you look in the rearview mirror, you're leaving all that baggage behind. It's down the road. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And when you look in the back seat, there's a personalized traveling suitcase just for you with your name on it. That's yours. You hold on to that. You protect that. So at the next stop sign, make a left on Resilience Road. Yeah, right there. Pull over, right there. That's good. Pull over. Put the car in park. Get out. Look around. And take a moment to breathe and reflect on how far you've come and smile. Just smile. Thank you.